everyone. Are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. You're going to love today's episode. If you want to learn about network marketing, and about social media, digital marketing, well, then you are in the right place, because today we've got Kimberly Olson, and get ready to be fired up.
Are you wanting a kickstart on your business and you want to learn how to be the go-to professional in your industry? Well, guess what? I've got a challenge for you. It's 5 days of coaching. It's brand new. Just go to KristaMashore.com/client conversion. That's KristaMashore.com/client conversion. And you'll get a training with me for 5 straight days that's going to help kickstart you as the go-to professional in your industry. So sign up and I'll see you there.
Hey, Kimberly, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Super excited to have you.
I'm so excited as well. Thank you for having me.
You said something that was super awesome right before we hit record. You gave me some good news about your company. Share the wealth.
Yes. It's called the Gold Digger Girl. And I had a chance to get to meet you a while ago. So I wanted to update you because we were talking about your amazing success you've had and you're so inspiring to me. But we just passed $1 million in revenue this year. So it's my first year of officially passing the 7-figure mark. So it's kind of exciting.
Everyone, listen to this. She hit the 7-figure $1 million mark during COVID.
Yeah.
Right? And so first year ever. So if you're having the obstacle in your mind that COVID is like going to hurt your business, and take that out of your equation. So
yes.
Tell us about, so you're a best-selling author. What's the book that you wrote?
It's called, well, there's 2 that hit #1 on Amazon. The first one was called The Gold Digger. So I was telling everyone in the book how I went from 0 followers on social media to, hundreds of thousands. And then the second book was called Why Balance is BS. You can appreciate this. It's the mompreneur's guide to getting everything she wants in life. So really important for those that need to time block and prioritize and things like that.
Great. Okay. I know you specialize in sort of coaching people with network marketing. So that's one of your specialties that you really focus on, right?
Yes.
Actually, I'm totally interested. And so I'd love to get your advice and your strategies. Give us some tips and tricks. If somebody is thinking,
yes.
And again, I know what you teach works not just for network marketing, it works for any type of business. But so give us some of your strategies and tips that, can help somebody in the network marketing space.
Yeah, for sure. And it's nice because I have an undergrad in business management and marketing and didn't learn much in undergrad. It was all work experience. But just like you, I feel like once you understand the strategies, of course, tactical is important, but if you understand the strategies, it will apply to anything that you do. So what I teach people is to get away from cold messaging and spamming and just blasting stuff on their page, or pulling up in your coat and you're going to your family. All right, guess what I'm selling now? And they're just like eye roll, because we all have that person we kind of avoid at church or whatever that's just always selling something. And it's just challenging ourselves to level up, to disrupt this industry and be different. And so I teach people how to find their voice on social media. So when I'll ask people, and I'm sure you have this with your students, I'm like, okay, who are you? Who are you going to serve? And what's your voice? And they're like, well, I don't know. I don't have any skills. I'm like, yes, you're a mom. Look at what you're doing. Let's translate that, So I teach them how to find their little niche with not selling their thing. I teach them offer value, get people just to fall in love with you. And then it comes up naturally in conversation. You can offer a solution, but people won't tell you their problems unless they think you can solve them. So be that person, be that person that people want to work with. So I teach them how to show up powerfully on Facebook, Instagram. I'm all over social media, just like you are, and just really have fun with it. Don't make it scary, be committed, and learn to engage and connect with people. And when you mentor them, you actually are going to get the exact results you want without going around chasing people. It's so much fun to build your business this way.
Yeah. So finding your voice. So basically,
yes.
Kind of explain to me so our listeners understand, what does explaining your voice mean?
Yeah. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, if you were going live, say on Facebook, or you're writing that post on your phone on Instagram, who is reading it? Because you might say, well, I sell tooth whitening toothpaste. Everyone has teeth. Well, most everyone has teeth, right? Or shampoo. If you are speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. You know how when and I know I brought up church already once, but when you're at church and you feel like the pastor is talking to you, you're like, or in class, I guess, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like he knows me. That's how you want them to feel when they read your post. You want them to go, oh my gosh, she gets me. So it's hey girl, it's friend to friend. Like I'm in, soccer, sit next to the mom next to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you feeling the COVID fromp? I am. Oh, check out this stuff I've been taking. I love it. And my friend's mom's like, what is it? Give me the link right now. Like it's, hey girl, it's just being cool, right? And being normal. So when you're writing the post, I want you to imagine in your mind, who is on the other side of the phone, and have her in your mind. What are her struggles? What are her issues? What are her challenges? What keeps her up late at night, right? Like, what is she really worrying about? And then your content needs to speak to her. So not this product has berries that are triple filter washed, and the scientific advisory board has 136 years of experience. Nobody cares. She wants to know, do you have a solution to my problem, right? So when you're writing that content or doing a live, you want to think about her, you want to think about her issues, and then your whole job is to offer value and make her life better or save her time and money. I mean, just make things easier for her. And then she's like, oh, wow, I really like this Kimberly person. What else has she got, right? And then they start digesting your content and become obsessed with you in a good way,
It's like you can't be a solution unless you're solving a problem. I've on just that subject. You can't be a solution unless you're solving your problems. So figure out what keeps them up at night, what their desires are, what their issues are, what they need help with, right? So really knowing who that client avatar, who that customer is on the other side is so important. And just talk to them like they're your bestie.
Yeah. Like be normal. Yeah. And I think, do you notice this too in Messenger? People suddenly get really weird. They panic and they're like, I don't know. I'm like, if you ever feel that way, you always want to go with the energy. And I know you're big into being aligned and law of attraction and stuff like that. The energy around it. Like if it feels weird to you, you're going about it the wrong way. So we want to kind of play with this beautiful place of social media to figure out your thing might not be Facebook Lives. You might not love that. You might love creating YouTube tutorials, right? Or doing TikToks. Like let's figure out where do you feel best? And then energetically, you can feel good about that connection and talking to people. Like you said, hey girl, just friend to friend.
Yeah. So I know that some people are going to be watching this and seeing you and listening to you, and they're thinking, well, Kimberly, you just seem like you naturally have the ability. Because you're great at connecting, right? You're a good connector. So for the people that aren't, let's just say like you and I, who it's kind of easy to kind of, we just let them connect. How would you go about that for someone that's not quite as, let's just say, extroverted, and it's kind of easy to us?
Yeah. It's actually interesting. The amount of online marketers, direct sellers, network marketers, even coaches are actually introverted because they're drawn to the ability to be on a phone, right? A device, a computer, and build a business that way versus going, like for me, I would love to be like, I love speaking on stage, like put me on TV. Like I love that stuff, right? The average introvert's not going to love that. They're going to run from it. So if you're more introverted or you feel like it's not easy for you to strike up conversations, that's okay because you've got a whole slew of people out there feeling the same way. But the other thing is when you start to create content that attracts qualified leads to you, you don't have to have that weird, like you're messaging people like, hey, Joan, I'm not sure if you've ever thought about a home-based business, but I'm working with a lot of moms just like you. Like you don't have to send messages like that. Does it take time to get the hang of it? Yes. Are you going to have results in your first 2 weeks? No. It takes 8 weeks to 12 weeks to even start getting people reaching out to you. But I was recognized as number 2 recruiter this year globally at my level for the company I'm in. I haven't reached out to one of those people that are on my team. How did I do that? Because I've become the person on social media that they go, I want to work with her. I wonder what it's like working with her. Was it like that when I started? No. I had to put content out. I had to show up every week, right? And eventually I became that person. So if you're like, okay, what do I need to do? Do you need to be more consistent? Do you need to overcome a destructive habit? Do you need to start a Facebook group and offer great value and nurture it? Like, what do you need to do, right? What do you need to do to level up on social media? And by leveling up, you attract higher level people. It's a win-win.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the network marketing, right? So, and so you're number 1 and you're number 2 in your company. That's amazing, by the way.
Thanks.
So you didn't do it by calling people, you did it by attracting, and marketing is attraction. Basically, that shows that your marketing is amazing. What you're doing is working because you're attracting without chasing business. So what does that look like? So somebody, what would their daily, weekly schedule look like? What kind of things do they talk about? How would they incorporate business or not? Like, give me a blueprint.
Yeah. So you are going to figure out a key piece of content you're going to produce each week that is your value driven piece of content. So Facebook Live is a good, easy, low hanging fruit for all of you. Everybody can do that with a phone. Or you might say, I want to start a podcast, or I want to release a new YouTube video every week, some kind of key piece of content where you are offering value and you're establishing yourself as an authority figure in that space. If you're brand new, it might be you having to interview a lot of people that have the credibility that you don't have yet. And by association, you start to elevate your personal brand. And then daily, it's building up the know, like, and trust factor. So you're sharing a selfie with a story. Is there a struggle that you had? I've told people that I was in the special class for reading in first grade. I had to leave the class and go be with the special children, which is fine. But I remember feeling like I was stupid, like that word stuck with me for a long time. And I share about how I'm a writer now, and to say people, your past does not define you. And that's sharing something really personal, which makes me vulnerable. And guess what happens? People go, oh my gosh, she's not just this magical best-selling author. Like, she's had struggles. Oh, then maybe I can do it. It's sharing personal stuff. It's sharing your kids and your spouse and, the journey you're going on. Or I have a client who, she's single right now. She decided to just take a break, go spend time with family for 6 months, just regroup. She's sharing about that, like whatever your story is. And then the business piece, you just work it in. So for example, when you have success on your team, doesn't have to be your team, but sideline, upline, your company, showcase that success. Never say the name of the company, because you want people to reach out to you and say, what do you do? What company is it? I want to know more about what you do. If you're blasting them like everyone else does, you're not standing out that way. And then you just sprinkle it in. You mention it, right? Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways to create do-it-yourself decorations for Christmas. It's going to be great because you can do it all at home. Get the supplies at Michael's. I have a shopping list for you. So if you want that, just click the link, get my email. And by the way, the reason why I love doing this 5 ways of these crafts is because I'm a mompreneur. I'm home with my kids. I run a business right at home. And so I love finding things to do around that I can do with my kids. And people are like, whoa, she works from home. She's doing crafts with her kids. I'm not, it's Pinterest mom meets Target. Like, everybody wants that. So notice how you just work it in without saying, hey, I sell stuff. It's a shift.
Give us some more examples then, because that was brilliant. You just did that. So give us a couple.
Yeah. And so all of my students call me the mumble marketer. So I just mumble all the time. And I just do it just all the time now. I don't even realize it. So one of the things I was shying away from as a coach was I was afraid that people that would potentially coach with me would think I would be trying to recruit them. Like, that was like a little dance for me to figure out. And one day my upline's like, it doesn't really do anyone a service if you're hiding that. Like, you should give examples, like talk about it, of what you're doing in the trenches. Like, that's a good thing that you're actively building. Like, that's appealing. I was like, okay. So I made the shift mentally. So whenever I'm talking about anything, I will mention with my team. So for example, you guys, the month is closing out. What can you do in the last 72 hours of the month to close strong? Have a 30-minute team meeting with your whole team and say, this is what we're going to do for 72 hours. We're going to do a 3-day recruiting blitz. Everyone that puts up a referral post is going to get in a giveaway. Let's go. We're going to have a chat. Let's do it. So with my team, we did this and we had blah, blah. See, and I'm just mentioning those examples. So then people go, oh, well, my team doesn't do that and it's lame and I don't like this. Maybe I'm going to go find out what she's doing. Or they say, wow, my team's doing great, but I want to know what she's doing. I'm going to hire her as a coach. So no matter what, it's going to obviously plant that seed for them. And if I'm the solution for them, awesome. If not, they just got some great content and they'll probably share it with others.
Yeah, I love it. It's so I have to ask, so what do you sell? Or you said
health and wellness. So it's clean living products like Amazon. And it's been really nice too, because I have a nutrition background. I have PhDs in natural health and holistic nutrition. And I did walk away from all of that I did it for 20 years and I was like, I cannot nutrition coach anymore. So I got into entrepreneurship, but now it's kind of marrying the two because I do still get to educate on it. So I really love it.
So you teach health and wellness buying on Amazon, health and wellness?
No. The product line is similar to Amazon. So it's, think of clean living, everything, hair care, body care, skin care, household, nutrition supplements, but similar to Amazon where it's subscribe and save, just an app, easy to shop. Yeah.
Nice. So you teach people how to promote that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not allowed to say or what?
Oh, it's called Modere. So we're called social marketers. Yeah. And it's most known for liquid collagen, which we all know how important that is. And then it also has a product called Trim, nicknamed Bye Bye Belly Fat. It has the #1 weight loss product. It has been for 2018, 2019. I'll probably get it again this year. So it's kind of its hero products. But it's been great because of being a coach. I've been able to experience a lot of different companies. And so I'm able, no matter where people are at, like there's girls that sell lashes, there's girls that sell clean beauty, there's girls that sell books. I'm like, here's how you do that on social media, right? It's always just like you were talking about examples. Let's say you did sell clean beauty. A lot of you, whatever your space is, whatever everyone's selling something, a product, service, opportunity. It's a product that's hard for people they don't understand how to translate that. So instead of it being, oh my gosh, I love this lip gloss, buy it while it's hot. You can say, hey guys, I've got this really great guide I put together of how to get out the door in 5 minutes with less than 5 beauty products. If you want to figure out my quick, thing, I'm doing a live on it in the group, or I've got this awesome little cheat sheet I put together for you. And then you say, oh yeah, if you want this look, here are the products that I used. Or some of you have been asking me, because this does happen to me, people will be like, oh, where'd you get those earrings? Where'd you get whatever it is? And I don't sell any of it, but I have affiliate links for a lot of things. They'll just ask me, right? Or I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm crying, but you can't see the mascara because I have fake eyelashes on. It's so great for selfies. Then they're messaging me like, oh, I need to do selfies. What is it? Just mentioning it. Stuff you love, right? It's all about that. Just mumble it in.
Eyelash. I actually am signed up for my daughter to be able to sell them. They're the ones,
cool.
Ones,
Yes. Yes.
I can't remember.
Is it Tori Bell?
Yes, Tori Bell.
Love their stuff. And they have a really good teen program now too.
It was like, I'm like, why did I even do this? Because she's not even doing it. Stick on. I can't get them to stick on. But when I did the one time, I was like, oh my God, I look so awesome. My eyes are so on point. But I can't remember. Fix.
Oh yeah. I had to have the girl tell me how to do it because I wasn't doing it right. She's like, oh no. You need to wait and let it like dry. And I was like, oh. So it took me a second.
Your magnetic stuff, I guess they have now too. So that's no, this has been great. I know people need to hear this because they're everyone's afraid of social media. I think sometimes I can sort of kind of sweep it under the rug, I would say, because I talk about it so much, and I think that it comes a little bit naturally for me. But even though it seems like it's natural, it's really not. Like there's days where I'm like, oh, media today, and like, in fact, just this morning I woke up, and this happened to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's December, already tomorrow. And last year at this time, I remember committing to do a Facebook Live every single day, and I didn't do it. Like, I mean, I do tons of this, but not Facebook Live. So I was thinking, had I stuck with that, it would be so much easier to do them when I want to do them, and I would have moved the needle so much more in my business. Like, what got in the way? And I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I start doing that again,
I have, if you want, I can get you the link and you can include it in the show notes. I put together a Trello board. Have you used Trello, Krista?
I use Trello.
Girl, it's amazing because when you make the board, you can give it to people and they can make a copy. So we use it a lot, like with people's teams, but I made a Trello board and it's like 80 or so of my most engaging posts. So I give you examples and you can just copy it. Like, have you used Stitch Fix before? It's where they shop for you, and it's so basically it's an app where you go on and you put your style choices and then they shop for you. Yeah. So I did it for the first time. I had 4 things that came and I tried all of them on, and I posted, what do you like best? And it like blew up. Like, people just want to connect and engage, but most people don't know. They just stare at the phone and they're like, I don't even know what to do. So if you want, I can send that, or I can get it to you and you want to give that to them.
That'd be great.
Okay. I will totally do that. But yeah, it's, at first it is just like starting at the gym, or like you said, that discipline to go live. It's a muscle. It's a muscle you have to develop. I haven't missed a day in exactly 3 years. Do you think it's paid off? Like, even on vacation, I'm like, it takes 5 minutes to post something. I can do that in the bathroom, right? Like, just put your head down, stay committed. Don't sit there and keep checking your bank account and check your following or any of that, the likes on Instagram. Just come with the purpose and intention of serving. If you let go of the outcome and you're just like, I'm just going to serve, I'm going to offer value, and I'm going to show up every day. I'm committed. It's a non-negotiable, no excuses, because we're all busy. but I care this much that I want to figure social media out, because now with so many things online and people pivoting, you want to be that person who understands. Like, that's what I love about what you teach. It's like digital marketing is everything. I mean, I heard a quote that content is queen, but social media is gasoline. Right? You can't just have the content. You have to know how to get it out there. And that's what you teach, right? So it's like, let's not shy away from the one thing that's not going away. Let's lean into it and say, all right, I'm coachable. I'm going to figure this out. I'm telling you, if I didn't know what I was doing and I figured it out, anybody can. I mean, really.
It's so funny. Earlier when you were saying how you couldn't read in first grade, I was in second grade. They realized I could not read at all. So they actually put me into a special education class.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that class, and not that I was any different, but I mean, they had severe disabilities.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was in there for 2 years all day long. And after that, so I had to go to the special class, and then after that I got pulled out for reading, but they taught me how to read. I couldn't read it in second grade. I had a major learning disability, and I remember feeling so embarrassed and so much
yes,
feeling like, oh, I'm stupid. And it kept with me for a lot of years. I had like really overcome that, feeling that negativity about myself. So when you said that, I was
yes.
I know that feels,
Yes. And the achievement. And then you go from being a perfectionist to having to achieve, because then you're kind of this always feeling of not good enough. So you have to look back and peel back the layers to go, where's that coming from? And just go, oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. And I think it's so neat when you look back at the things that happen, like you, in the time you were so frustrated by it. And now I look back and I'm like, I'm so glad I had the life I had, because it made me so resilient and resourceful and all of these things. Plus, it's more relatable, guys. It's relatable to be real. It's relatable to have a story, and no one can share your story except for you. And there's always going to be someone out there that needs to hear your message, whether it's written or live or in a blog post, but there is someone on the other side that needs to hear your message. And that's how you can change people's lives.
And make sure, like you said, relatable, right? It isn't always about, selling things and shoving things down people's faces, but offering value. I always say, serve, don't sell. If you serve, ultimately you will sell, right? Because you have that servant mindset. And I think that's the whole idea about attraction-based marketing, is that you're serving people. And so you're attracting people that want to learn more about you and your product and service. And it feels so good, right? It just feels to really, really help people. And it's funny, in the past, I will say that I'm probably happier than I've ever been in my life. Because I've been it's so much into, contribution, and contribution equals growth. So therefore I'm growing because of it. It's just been a really, really magnificent journey.
I love that.
I love your energy, and so
yours too. It's weird. It's weird to have met my match here, Krista. I can't imagine if we met in person, we would just implode.
I'm sure, So if people want to, what is the name of your podcast?
The Goal Digger Girl, and it's GOAL, and it's everywhere is the Goal Digger Girl. My website, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I mean, anywhere you can think of.
Okay, so the Goal Digger Girl, great way to get in touch with Kimberly. And she doesn't just teach multi-level marketing. She teaches marketing and social media. So she's a great person to follow. And even just watching her and seeing how she relates to her community and the things that she's doing, you could then take and kind of, tweak and make your own and use her as an example to get yourself excited and started. Okay, Kimberly, it has been so great having you. So I want to leave with if you could say one thing to the listeners to add value, whether it's business or personal, what would that one thing be to make an impact on them?
For my advice to them?
Anyone listening?
So I would say that whatever that nudges that you have, when it gets quiet and you have that little nudge, divine push from God, that you need to listen to it and be obedient, because it won't go away. And you'll end up acting out, be destructive, self-sabotage, because you're not listening to it. So I'm just going to save you some time and some heartache. That's not going away. So your job is to have joyful expectation, keep your eyes on that vision that you have for yourself, whatever that dream is, and go after it unapologetically with everything that you have.
Even if you're scared, right?
Yes, especially if you're scared, then you're going in the right direction.
Not convenient.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You heard it, and she just made $1 million for the first time this year.
Yay.
So great to have you, the Goal Digger Girl. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. It's been wonderful. And everyone, listen, it's great to learn. And knowledge is not power, but implementation is. So take what she has to say and go out there and implement. And thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time. And Kimberly,
you're so welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.